Hey yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your big bro Danny Biz up in the tube, and let's get tuned in. Back with another one. When them Zanzi get active, we get reactive, man. Yeah. We're back at it again. I was scrolling through the streets of TikTok. The streets of TikTok is always a gift that's giving. Scrolling there, and I came across a very interesting video of the guy, what's his name? Romeo Black ZA. Romeo gave an interview to this beautiful sister, asking her about relationships. And when I saw this video, it reminded me of a previous video that I did talking about, why is it so hard for us as the sisters and the brothers, or the females and the males, whether in a relationship or not, to be able to sit in front of each other or next to each other, have a conversation that's valuable. And then why is it so hard for the sisters to hear us out when we try to put information that's very valuable to improve our relationships? When we're trying to share with them, when we want you to see a point of view from them, a man's point of view, with the purpose of making you see and understand. Why is it so hard for them to listen? Because it's like their natural instinct is to reject or dismiss everything that comes from your side as a man. So that's the video that I did. So this one that I came across on TikTok gave me a different perspective and an answer to a certain extent. It's not a full answer, but it might be partially an answer to a certain extent. And I think it might be good for a debate, or it might be good to dissect and unpack in the future stages. Let's listen to what the sister is saying.
What would you say the hardest part of loving you is?
I actually don't know how to empathize with men. I always feel like they're complaining for nothing. I always empathize with them like they're my brothers, never not like they're my partners. At the end of the day, we just don't relate on a lover-to-lover level. I love how you feel to me, but I don't understand how you feel, and I don't love your feelings.
How has that played out in your romantic relationships?
I broke up with the love of my life, I think.
What would you like to do going forward?
Figure out if I'm emotionally attracted to men.
What would you say the hardest part?
Wow. That's, I should say, this is a bit, it's not surprising to me. I've had such conversations before with the gents to try and figure out why is it that we experience such. But it's disheartening to hear it when the females say it in an honest fashion, And I really appreciate the honesty. I think this is what we really need in a society, for people to be honest about what goes on. But if you listen to what she's saying,
Part of loving you is?
I actually don't know how to empathize with men. I always feel like they're complaining for nothing. I always empathize with them like they're my brothers, never not like they're my partners. At the end of the day, we just don't relate on a lover-to-lover level. I love how you feel to me, but I don't understand how you feel, and I don't love your feelings.
How is that?
So basically, she literally doesn't empathize with men. She doesn't know how to empathize with their struggle. Once you start talking to her about your struggle, she's going to see you and feel for you as a brother, but not as a lover. If we are lovers and you start to be emotionally vulnerable with her, then she doesn't see you as a lover. She sees you as a brother, and that's when attraction starts fading away. That's what she's saying. So basically, it sounds like she's able to sympathize with you, but she's unable to empathize with you. Let's check out the difference between sympathy and empathy. Okay, empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share a feeling of another person, especially putting yourself in their shoes. So your ability to put yourself in the next person's shoes, that's empathy. Understand how they feel, put yourself in their shoes and feel what they feel. That's empathy. Sympathy, on the other hand, is feeling sorrow and pity for someone else's misfortune without necessarily experiencing their emotion. So basically, you can sympathize, but I don't put myself in your shoes. I hear what you're saying. I understand your sorrow. I feel sorry for you, but I am incapable of putting myself in your shoes. But with empathy, I should be able to put myself in your shoes. That's the difference. So now, this begs the question in front of a lady or a sister, and we're having a conversation, and I'm telling her, yo, this is our struggle, this is what we go through, this is the issue that men are facing, especially the men that let me not include the men that are committing all the vile things against women, the men that don't do such, and females don't commit all the vile things against men. We are just neutral, assuming we're all neutral. When we're sitting in front of each other and we were to have a conversation, and I'm telling you the struggles that men face, are you able to put yourself in his shoes and feel what he's feeling so that you can understand it? Or are you just going to sympathize? So now, with this outlook on things, it might be crucial for us to start asking, but empathy, is empathy an acquired quality, or is it a quality that one needs to be born with? Femininity, for example. A female are more likely to be feminine, nurturers, soft, hormones as well, that they are able to exhibit from a feminine point of view. But does empathy also fall within the category of a feminine feature, or does it not exist at all there? Because I can tell you, as gents, when we're sitting a whole lot of times, more often than not, we are able to empathize with the next man's struggle. When a man say, yo man, I'm going through this, I know, I get you, my brother, you know, I understand, I can put myself in your shoes, and I can relate, because more often than not, I've been in your shoes and in the situation that you're going through as a man. Otherwise, a man who's unable to empathize can be a real cruel man. And I believe that a man who's unable to put themselves in the shoes of a person who's suffering is more likely to cause suffering, because part of a masculine feature is physicality. Physicality, especially when it's unhealthy, does lead to GBV. A female that's unable to empathize, what is it that they do? Let's check the comments. Maybe we can get the answers there. One comment from someone called Menlo. Many women are like, hey man, show your emotions. Then you show that you are insecure, but they reject you. Many women lack empathy. This person says many women lack empathy. I wish there was a statistic or a way of measuring the amount which falls within a category of those who don't have empathy and those who have empathy. You know, that can give us a scale and understanding of what the problem is and how we can work around this problem of empathizing and sympathizing. Listen to Spacey. Spacey says, long story short, I don't care about men. I just don't care about men. No need for explanation, no need for anything. I don't care about men. And then listen to this one, Zana. Literally, I'm the same. It annoys me when they complain. Like, how? She's the same. It annoys her when we complain. Like, how the hell are you going to complain? Imagine you sitting there trying to explain to a person and have a conversation, and she's like, how the hell are you going to complain? It annoys them. Listen to Amahle, the female. Listen to what she says. This is more common than we think. This is more common than we think. That's what Amahle says. Amahle says. Listen to another female talking. This is actually so real. I can't fathom the possibility of men having feelings as profound and as intense as mine. So once a man starts having feelings and express themselves emotionally, she can't fathom that. It turns her off. It's one of the things that she really can't appreciate when she gets it from a man. Listen to Bongekile, a female. This is me exactly. I lack empathy when it comes to men. Listen to another female coming in. She says, I even hate women who empathize with men. Like kahle bo wena. Yo. And then here's another one, very interesting one. Same. I don't understand when men are in pain, sick, or sad. In fact, it aches me. I don't understand how you big, strong thing, yet you feel emotional pain. I always thought there was something wrong with me. I just don't empathize with men. Wow. And then let's listen to this very interesting one. Johnny came and said, when you have a son, your perspective will change. And listen to the female coming back. She says, I have 2, 11 and 6. Still don't feel anything for men. But my boys though are my world. So the boys, the sons, she feels for them. They are her world. But men in general, she doesn't feel anything. And that's just natural for her. So it still begs the question, is empathy a natural trait, or is it something that we train ourselves to have? What does it take to have empathy? How can we measure the scales by which people have empathy so that we know how their society is? Because initially I thought that females, maybe there's a lot of indoctrination that has happened to a point where they never take the plight of a man at all. Whether a man is talking to a female, they're talking about a serious issue or an issue that's not serious. But it seems more to me that the words of a man never go through. It just bounces from them and they just become numb. Normally when you have to talk to them about stuff, especially when it's emotional. Teresa, this is what Teresa has to say. A man could be going through the worst time of their life and I still wouldn't be able to feel sorry for them. I think I'm broken, to be honest, but I'm glad to see I'm not the one. Hey, so now if a female friend of yours has a funeral at their home, the mom has died, the mom has passed on, what would normally happen is that the girls would feel empathy for them, including sympathy, attend with them, have a conversation, carry them through the pain, allow them to cry, express themselves, be there for them emotionally. But when it happens to a man, it becomes a totally different story. You're not allowed to be that emotional as a man. Even if there's a funeral at your home, a female will literally treat you like, hey man, you need to go out there, do your thing, be responsible as a man, attend to your responsibilities and never care to show me your emotion. Things like this happen, bad things happen. As a man, I struggle to show a certain level of emotion when bad things happen. I don't know, but I have shown emotion to boys, the gents as well, but having to show emotion in general to people that I'm not close with, I struggle with that, and I doubt if I'll ever allow myself to be in a position where I have to show emotions to people in general, but only the people that I'm close with. Okay, listen to Adamson, Miss Adamson. I don't know if she's Mrs. It's Warda Adamson. Every time a man tries to express himself to me, I feel like he's trying to manipulate me. So I just can't get myself to believe anything that he says. Every time a man tries to express himself to her, she feels like this man is trying to manipulate me. Manipulation. As a man, what's the point of expressing myself to you honestly if you're gonna think it's manipulation? If I'm aware that what I'm telling you, you might consider it manipulation, then my best bet is to start using words and start communicating with you in a fashion that's gonna make me win regardless. AKA, I'm not going to communicate honestly. I just have to resort to a lie, because the lie will work. I'm gonna win. Honesty might feel like manipulation. You wouldn't believe me, so there's no point in telling the truth. That's why men lie. Okay, this is a lady coming. Oh my god, I thought I was the only one. Listen to Norma Pelo. She says, I just thought we all just pretend to care. Because she doesn't care. So if ever she showed a bit of care towards someone, that care was pretentious, because deep down inside she really doesn't care. They would say, a lot would say, yo, our mothers used to begazela a lot because of blah 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 blah. But I really have seen a female begazelling when a man is down in the current socio-economic circumstances. Our society back then was a little bit different, even if a man was struggling, but that was not really reflected in the socio-economic structure of the household, because the socio-economic structure standing of the society in itself was just the way it is, and there was no external influence that seeks to make it that maybe your household doesn't look good. That's why it's easier now for a female to leave their house and go to a house that seems better outside, even though it doesn't. But I guess that's the distinction we might have to make when it comes to this. Listen to this. I only learned empathy towards men when I got a nephew. It's because we are used to our fathers and brothers being our strong protectors. We've never had to take care of them. You see now, nephew, because it's family, you're not emotionally attracted to him. Like, the attraction is different because it's family attraction, but it's not romantic. Once it's romantic, empathy seems to be running away. But with us men, it's the opposite. We feel empathy for you when you say, yo, I'm unemployed. It doesn't take away the level of attraction that I have for you. Actually, I'm still gonna want to support you, have your back, and take good care of you. You know what I mean? 70% of divorces, as a statistic, are initiated by women. And then the number one reason for the divorce is finances, where the female cannot take the fact that the man is going through a lot and there's a struggle that he's experiencing. Those numbers says a lot. They are a reflection of the lack of empathy that females feel. I never knew how to articulate this, but this is accurate. I don't care about your feelings. In fact, you're giving me the ick when you tell me about your problems. Never tell me about your problems. You're giving me an ick. I really don't care about your feelings, dear man. Never tell me about your feelings. I don't want to hear it. Keep it away from me. And I feel like if we can do an empathy experiment, there's a lot we can uncover about what happens when you have to empathize with the next sex. But until then, it's only a matter of opinion. It is what it is. When Mzansi get active, we get reactive. Until next time, peace.